Chapter 15, Public Revenue and Expenditure. Public revenue, earned revenue, trends and receipts, capital receipts, revenue receipts, tax revenue, characteristics of taxes, classification of taxes, direct taxes, impact of tax and tax incidents, various direct taxes, income tax, corporate tax, wealth tax, gift tax, other property tax, interest tax, modes of direct tax, elasticity, certainty, economical productivity, equity and fairness, social consciousness, direct relation, demerits of direct tax, unpopularity, arbitrary, unsympathetic, tax evasion, not applicable at all, discourage savings and investment, indirect tax, various indirect taxes, central excise duty, custom duty, service tax, value added tax VAT, goods and services tax GST, central GST, CGST, state GST, SGST, or integrated GST, IGST, state indemnification, union territory GST, UT, taxes subsumed in GST, central taxes replaced by GST, state taxes subsumed in the GST, taxes not included in GST, modes of indirect taxes, economical broad base, elastic, checks the consumption of harmful goods. Tax evasion is difficult, fair, convenient, social welfare, demerits of indirect taxes, lack of social consciousness, uncertainty, increases income inequalities, affects consumption, possibility of tax evasion, or inflationary, fall in consumption and employment, progressive tax, modes of progressive taxes, principle of equality or equal distribution of income, economical elastic opportunities of employment, helps to check recession, demerits of progressive taxes, uncertain tax evasion, loss of revenue, hampers growth. Socialism, invasion of individual rights, proportional taxes, modes of proportional taxes, simple equity, reduced tax evasion, convenience, certainty, demerits of proportional taxes, against the principle of justice, increase in inequality, less collection, unpractical, low production, regressive, non-progressive taxes, modes of regressive taxes, convenient, increase in investment, no evasion, demerits of regressive taxes, unjust method, unemployment, non-productive, effects of taxation, theories related to taxation, benefits received theory, ability to pay theory, subjective approach, principle of equal absolute sacrifice, principle of equal proportional sacrifice, principle of equal marginal sacrifice, objective approach, non-tax revenue, fee, license and permit, excheat, special assessment, fines and penalties, income from public expenditure, administrative income, funds created by the government, consolidated fund, contingency fund, public account, public expenditure, classification of public expenditure, revenue expenditure, capital expenditure, other classification of public expenditure, non-plan expenditure, plan expenditure, effect of public expenditure on process, productive production, ability to work, save and invest, willingness to work, save and invest, effect on the allocation of resources among different industries and trade, other effects of public expenditure, effect on economic stability, effects on economic growth or public expenditure and depression, undue influence of public expenditure, assistance to unnecessary industries, tendency of political influence, special benefit of special class, importance of public expenditure, causes of increase in public expenditure, economic development, resource mobilization and ability to finance, welfare state, public debt and its management, objective of public debt to meet budget deficit, to finance war and natural calamities, to finance development plans. To finance external deficit, types of public debit, internal and external debit, marketable and non-marketable debit, or productive and unproductive debit, redeemable and irredeemable debit, funded and unfunded debit, compulsory and voluntary debit, public debit in India, sources of public debit, internal debit sources, tools of internal debit, market loans, treasury bills, securities against small savings, bonds and expired loans, external debit sources, effect of public debit, positive effects of public debit, mobilization of resources, increase in the productive capacity for investments, promotion, developmental expenditure, generating growth, generating foreign exchange, or negative effects of public debit, effects on distribution of income, negative impact on savings and investment, increase in inflation, burden of public debit, or direct money burden, indirect money burden, direct real burden, indirect real burden. Principle of public debt management. Public debt must be minimized for the interest cost of servicing, satisfaction of the needs of investors, funding of short-term debt into long-term debt must be coordinated with fiscal and monetary policy, maturity distribution, and kinds of debt holders.